This movie's about today, for sure. Like, what is going on in our world today? It's what's going on in our world today is superpowers trying to figure out who they are. A very rough and emerging Russia, it appears. Young couples or young people have a hard time finding their way in life. There's not a lot of opportunity. Economic precipice, that's part of this. Terrorism. So, this movie's really got 5 things going on that make it incredibly contemporary. The production has done everything it can to make it feel like our world. This is a true origin story for sure. We read all the Clancy books and we gleaned every possible piece of information about Jack Ryan's background. You can't put it all in one movie, but I would venture to guess there's more in this movie than any of the others. This is the origin story of this character, really in a real way. You watch this guy go from literally a student, a graduate student, to finding his way through the workplace, to becoming part of what are potentially world-shattering events. And you watch the maturation of that character through that period of time. And what's great about Jack Ryan as a character, and what's important in our movie as well, is I think he always has a really strong sense of what's right and what's wrong. He is like us in a way, in the sense that he's not a Superman. He doesn't, have crazy chop-socky abilities. But when the moment comes, when he's called on, he can rise to the occasion. The process, I think, will be for the audience will be that they could sort of see their own lives in terms of trying to find a way and going about your life. And then seeing the challenges that are thrown at this guy, it's a little more extraordinary than we would all have in our normal lives. But they are nonetheless decisions that they're forks in the road. And so this movie, you go right through all the different forks in the road. How do you feel about your career? How do you feel about your relationship? How do you manage a relationship and a career? What is your relationship with your country? Are you a patriot? What does patriotism mean? Are you prepared to stand up well past what you thought you would do and put yourself in physical harm? Can you survive the physical harm? So Jack goes through all those things. So it's very character-based as a movie, and at the same time, Jack's put in some really wild action moments and some great thriller moments, and so there's tons of entertainment as well. I think one of the reasons why we were attracted to Ken Branagh to direct this film is that one of the hardest things to do, I think, for a director is to create massive scale and yet always hold on to that 5-foot something or 6-foot something player, that cast member. We have the tremendous advantage of being so character oriented that it's always focused around the character, and Ken has the ability to not only deliver the character but also deliver the scale at the same time. So you'll never really let go of either one of those things as you go through the movie. As I've gotten to know Chris a little bit, what's really great for this character is Chris is naturally, as a person, very analytical, very inquisitive, very poking at, is it right? Is it wrong? Is it true? Is it not true? How true is it? I think he's naturally that way. And Jack Ryan is naturally that guy who's supposed to be able to look at the same situation that we all look at, and he sees something else because of both his powers of observation and his ability to step away from, I'll say, linear thought. So Chris is a natural to play a guy who can think better than the rest of us, especially in crisis. He's obviously very handsome, and he's been incredibly brave in terms of doing stunts and really putting himself out there. So he's really invested in not only the character but also the movie. I think Chris and Kira make a great couple. I mean, they're obviously both incredibly good looking, but they're both really great actors, and they're both a great commitment to what they're doing. And so the internal dynamic of this relationship is really way more than what you would get in a entertainment movie. It's almost like an art house drama that's going on between these two characters. So you really invest in this relationship and really root for it to survive the test that it's going to go through in this movie. Kevin is also, he's a movie star, you know. He's just the camera loves him, and he knows how to make every moment of the movie that he's in really shine. So it's a great addition to us, and I think a lot of his when I think of like the body of his work, I think he plays a lot of characters that have a great sense of justice. So he's in a great role for that.